Hi and welcome on to the AFTV Tactical Insight Show with Graham. Graham is here again to talk us through the game. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Arsenal 1. Oh, I'm still hurt.
Feels like
the penalty at the end, it felt like a loss.
Did it felt like 2 points lost, didn't it?
Oh man.
You'd have taken a point before the game though, Robin.
You know what, before the game I predicted 1-1. And before the game I would have taken a point because, you know, when was the last time we went there and won? You know, to go to Tottenham, nobody's really, apart from Man United, I don't think anybody's gone to Wembley and got a result, have they, this season?
Man United, yeah.
Only Man United?
No, Liverpool and Man City, actually.
Okay, yeah. Okay. But I would have taken, listen, in the grand scheme of things, I would have taken a draw, but I was so disappointed in the end that we didn't get all 3 points. You're going to take us through the tactics. I don't know if you're also going to touch on some of the horrendous decisions in the game as well.
Yeah.
But I'll be interested to get your views on the game because before the game, when the team sheet came out, I was with like DT, Troops, those guys, and they were pretty upset. They were like, why are we not playing Torreira? Why have we not started Ozil? Everybody was having a go. The Ramsey thing, I was like, you know what? I can understand that. The Torreira thing, I couldn't understand it, but then after the game, I could understand what he'd done with that as well. I don't know if you're going to say the same sort of thing. And what I am seeing from our manager is a manager that is tactically aware. I am loving what I'm seeing here. This is 2 times now that he's outdone Pochettino, who's supposed to be this great tactical manager, and he is a good tactical manager. But yet still, even after the game, I didn't see Emery getting any props. You know, apart from the fans, in general, from the pundits and that. But he is good tactically, isn't he?
He's proven himself a really good coach, Robbie. I thought his team selection, the tactics, the work rate, the hunger, desire from the players, he got everything spot on. Mm-hmm. When we did the interview after the Bournemouth game last week, I said to you, he'd play a 4-2-3-1. I said he would play Ramsey next to Lacazette, and I said he would play Iwobi, Mkhitaryan in the wide areas. He chose system over personnel. And I think Rio Ferdinand, another great pundit, criticised him pre-match for sort of like not choosing his better players, and Tottenham would be looking at that team sheet and thinking they got a tremendous advantage, and Ferdinand was proved wrong because I think the way we played that game, and I'm going to highlight the difference today between how Emery sets up, was in effect in reverse to how you expected the 2 teams to play. I expected us to play a back 3. I did an event in Islington last week at the Islington Sports Bar and Grill with Nigel Winterburn and Kevin Campbell. And Nigel Winterburn thought we would play a back 3. But what Emery decided to do in this game, he basically went for the back 4 in a 4-2-3-1 in possession, a 4-4-2 out of possession. And what he did quite cleverly was he actually had us sitting deeper in a deeper defensive line. And I think I've titled this video "A Change of Instinct" from Emery. How he outdid Poch tactically again, because he outdid him at the Emirates by changing the formation when we were behind 2-1 and going for it with 2 up top with Ramsey, with the split strikers and Ramsey coming through the midfield. So offensively he went for it. But in this game we were away from home. Everybody was saying we should play Ozil, but he's not intense enough. Everyone's saying we should play Aubameyang, but I think he's nursing the fact that Aubameyang is going to be the Europa League striker with Lacazette banned. So that's obviously into his thinking. But I think this system, a 4-3, with the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-2-1, is in effect, I think, his system. 4-2-3-1, sorry, yeah. So, and I think what he likes is, he likes obviously a lone striker with 2 wide forwards with a number 10 in possession, and then out of possession, the number 10 works in a 2. And this is what we had against Tottenham on Saturday. Tottenham played a 3-4-1-2, which surprised me. I thought they would not play 3 at the back because a lot of the time they had 3 centre-backs taking care of just Lacazette. And in effect, they played the high line. Now, we didn't. We sat deeper. We learnt our lesson, I think. What Emery did, he looked at 2 games. He looked at the Carabao Cup game earlier in the season when they beat us at the Emirates 2-0, when we played the high line, And I think Ali and Song got in behind and scored 2 goals that night. And obviously we've been conceding goals playing this high line. He likes to play a high line. And the advantages of it is a very closed unit. I'll put here some of the advantages of why he likes to play the high line. It makes it difficult for the opposition to move the ball with as much space or time. But the disadvantage, it does leave space in behind. So you have to be organised and you have to have quick defenders. And our defenders haven't been organised and we haven't got quick defenders. So there are issues with this. And look at the goals we've been conceding. I just, off the top of my head, the Chelsea goal in the season when Morata scored at Stamford Bridge when Socrates pushed up and they went through and he went through one-on-one. Song and Ali in the 2 Carabao Cup games, and Lingard when we played the high line against Man United and they exposed us. So, and I think the 2 games, as I say, were pivotal to the way he went with the formation on Saturday, were the Tottenham game, the Carabao Cup, when we played a high line, when, if you remember, Harry Kane came off the bench and kept dropping into the space, taking a centre half out with him, and he pinged the ball in behind for Ali, who got one of their goals. And I think another one where Song got in behind. So I think he was weary of Song getting in behind, and he's weary of them in wide areas as well. So I think that's the reason he went with that formation. The other game I think he looked at in the week, when they played against Chelsea, who Jamie Carragher says can't defend. Since he said that, kept back-to-back clean sheets against Man City in the Carabao Cup final and Tottenham in the league. Were very compact, and Tottenham had very few chances and hardly any shots at goal in that game. So he looked at those 2 games, and I think he learnt his lesson from the Carabao Cup game, and that's why we defended deep with our 4 best defenders available to us at the moment, Robbie. He played Mustafi at right back, Socrates and Koscielny, who, whatever people think, that is a very good partnership.
It's a very good partnership.
Yeah. And Monreal, who's more defensively minded than
I thought he was excellent. He was excellent.
He
was excellent. They're all excellent, apart from Mustafi, that mistake.
Well, I will come on to that because I thought Mustafi had a very good game.
I thought he had a good game.
He had a good game,
but
he made that one mistake, Robbie.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
And he does it. This is the thing with him. That means that's what separates you from being a really good defender from just being an okay defender, is that you've got to be switched on the whole game. Why did he do that? Why did he foul Kane? I mean, we all know it's offside anyway.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, first of all, just one other point I want to make here, and I've talked about the Southampton game here, that Redmond chance early on.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I wanted in behind. We have our 4 defenders on it day, Lichtstein and Mustafi, Socrates and Kolasinac all pushing up. And I think it was a simple ball over the top. Redmond was through one-on-one, and Leno saved us early on.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons. Another reason why he changed. I think I think we look more solid with a deeper defensive line. Certainly in the bigger games where you have to be competitive.
Yeah.
You have to be competitive.
Which is something over the years we've not done.
Yeah.
Under Arsene Wenger, basically, he's always like been toe to toe with every team.
Yeah.
But this guy's very tactically aware, like he says, and he realised that you can't just go to Wembley and go toe to toe.
We got a very good coach. We've always said he's a very good coach, and I think that he's obviously been hampered by injuries, by money. Hasn't had his best defenders available to him all season. We have to say that. So that has hampered him. Mustafi, I thought, had an excellent game. And answer your question, when that comes in, I think he panics. Right? He's not a natural instinct is to panic, but we have to say that the officiating, we were on the wrong end of all the decisions, and that was one. I see in the media today they're saying that Kane wasn't interfering. There was some sort of comment that around, but he was moving towards the ball, which would have affected the players around him. So for me, the offside law makes it very difficult.
VAR would have given that offside all day long. We know that.
Yeah.
If there's a VAR in play,
the linesman wasn't even in line.
The linesman wasn't even in line with play. That was completely offside.
Yeah.
And some of the officiating, like you said, was poor. The penalty that Aubameyang missed, it was a poor penalty, but the encroachment by Vertonghen, where he's literally next to him when he's taking the penalty, then subsequently he's able to be on the line to clear the ball off the line when Aubameyang goes to tap in off of Iwobi's cross. I thought first of all, I thought it wasn't a penalty. I thought it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't. I agree with you. I was right behind it, and it was definitely not a penalty. And I don't even think Aubameyang was looking for a penalty. He just sort of went down. If you look at his expression, he wasn't looking for a penalty. Again, poor decision by the referee. But then when we do get the penalty now, the encroachment was ridiculous. Again, I don't know.
It's the referees. Should be the linesman should be looking outside, and the referee should be looking across. The referee's in the box; he should be looking straight across.
And we all know that. Listen, most penalties there's a bit of encroachment, right? We all know that. But this one was ridiculous. Because as I said, he was literally next to Aubameyang when he was taking it. Again, that can even slightly put the player off if you're kind of slightly in the eye line. It was really, really poor officiating in the game. And it was just disappointing that we didn't end up winning it.
And the fact that Vertonghen was in the box meant that when the ball came back across, he was able to get the slide blocking.
He was able to get in and get that block. Oh, great block. But that's what you shouldn't be nowhere near there to get that block in.
So Vertonghen was literally, I think, 2 yards behind Aubameyang when he hit it. So how the referee didn't see that is unbelievable. But
he didn't want to see it.
And then there was the other two incidents really around the sending off of Torreira and the challenge by Danny Rose. I think there's a lack of consistency there from the referee.
Because Danny Rose's challenge is just a bit. He's put his studs right into Leno, right?
Yeah.
Right. What's the difference between that one and the Torreira one?
Well, they're both endangering the opponent, which is what he got sent off for.
Exactly.
So he gave him a yellow, which. You'd have to explain that one, Anthony.
I think he could have given Torreira a yellow for that as well. Especially how late in the game it was as well. He lost the game by that stage.
I think he started off well, Anthony Taylor. He let a few. I think he recognised it was a North London derby.
Yeah, he was letting a few things go.
But then all of a sudden, it started sort of like as the game went on, giving more yellows. I think by the letter of the law, Robbie, Torreira was a sending off.
So was Danny Rose.
So was Danny Rose. And Danny Rose would have gone on, I think DT said it in his video, about half hour to go then, that would have been key, wouldn't it?
Should Xhaka have gone as well though? Because a lot of Tottenham fans were highlighting to me that the Xhaka one where he slightly caught Harry Kane on the back of his leg. Could that possibly? But I think that's more yellow for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Pochettino was making that point to the fourth official that he thought, I think he thought it should have been a red. And he deflected afterwards the attention away from the performance of Tottenham, because he's desperate at the moment, Pochettino. I think he's the pressure of being trophyless now for Spurs, and 1 point out of 9, the league. 1 minute they're going for the league, now they're struggling to stay in the top 4. I think the pressure's getting to him, and I think that it was a bad challenge from Xhaka and a yellow card. To send someone off for that was a bit harsh, but by the letter of the law, endangering an opponent with your studs up, which was Rose off the ground. Rose and Torreira both did the same thing. So there was, if the referee had been consistent, he should have sent them both off. But Xhaka for me was more of a yellow.
I think that's more of a yellow. But listen,
I think tactically, Robbie, if I could just say one other thing, I think just coming on to what we did really well in this game was that we said what Tottenham do. Tottenham play in this system. They're not great through the middle of the park. I don't think they've got any real. I mean, Harry Winks is a big miss for them, but they haven't got any real creative players. They tend to knock it long, so they knock it long to try and get the ball out wide. And I think that the way we set up nullified that as well. I think that's another point I wanted to make today, because although Trippier did get in 1 or 2 good crosses, and we have to give credit to our goalkeeper as well, Leno.
What a save! Double
save. But generally we set up to stop them. In the wide spaces, they weren't so effective in the wide areas. Rose and I think Mkhitaryan had an excellent game.
That's brilliant.
He's coming into real good form, not just in possession, but out of possession. He worked back with Guendouzi and Xhaka, and also assisted Mustafi. And I think Iwobi did a good job out whenever Monreal came inside. Iwobi filled the space. So we denied them space in the wide areas. We denied Song the runs in behind. And what we also did
Son was so quiet.
He was.
So was Harry Kane.
Yeah, and
so was Eriksen.
Well, Eriksen to me, I mean, he was hardly in the game.
Yeah.
And apart from that one shot, I think he had the shot, didn't he? But I think Guendouzi was on him first half quite a lot, and I think he went off at half time. And let
me ask you that, right?
Yeah.
The Torreira thing, then Guendouzi going off. Do you think? And I had the theory about it, and I don't know if you agree with this, that the manager's almost just said to Guendouzi, go on, stick on a certain player, high press, high intensity, just blast it out for the first half. Then in the second half, I'm going to just reverse that with Torreira, and you go and do the same thing. Yeah. Do you think that's kind of the tactic why he left Torreira out?
I don't know. Well, I think that's in effect what happened. I think he had Guendouzi on Eriksen first half, and he seemed to have Torreira on Eriksen the second half. So maybe Guendouzi had worked so hard in the first half that he was obviously blowing a bit, and he decided to whether that was pre-planned, I don't know. Whether it was just the way the game panned out, we'll never know. But certainly those two players restricted Eriksen. I think Eriksen normally is their main creator.
He did nothing in the game. Son did nothing. No. Nor did Harry Kane. They're three dangerous players.
And the key, Robbie.
The only player really in their team that I thought had a good game was Sissoko. I thought he was causing problems with his driving runs.
And when they flipped in the second half, Pochettino changed it around, brought on Lamela. Sissoko became more the box-to-box midfielder, and he was obviously some of his runs, and he's a very physical player. He had a good game. And the funny thing is, they conceded a goal that you expect us to concede almost. The goal that he scored, it was a real vindication of the system he set up with Ramsey off Lacazette, with Lacazette holding the ball up, the assist for Ramsey, and Ramsey getting in with Tottenham playing the high line after the Sanchez mistake. But the other point I think we should highlight was if our two strikers had their shooting boots on,
would have won the game.
We would have won the game. And Lacazette had two very presentable chances. The second one when he opened his body up.
Yeah, he should have scored that.
Whether that came to him too quickly, it
did come to him very quick.
Yeah.
As again, I was right behind that. It was snapped at him.
Yeah.
But still a player of his quality.
Yeah.
I would expect him to score that.
And obviously, Aubameyang, obviously with the penalty, as you quite rightly said, I watched the interviews on Saturday. That is the way he takes all the penalties.
It's how he takes his penalty. I mean, there's a lot of people, including myself, I'm like, Aubameyang, just hammer it. But if you've got a player that he takes penalties in a particular way, which is obviously he looks to make the sort of that twitch and the player goes the other way and then he rolls it in. That's how he takes his penalties. He's very successful with it.
And he took one against Spurs earlier in the season.
Scored it.
Lloris knew that.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things, you know. But it was very, very disappointing. But listen, we've still got a chance on this top four.
Yeah.
If we play as well as that defensively against Manchester United, we could beat them.
Yeah.
Right? We're at home. We're running into a bit of form at the moment. The top four is starting to open up a bit because I don't think Spurs are secure. I mean, I heard a lot of pundits saying, I still think Spurs, no problem. I think they've got a problem because there's a few, it's not just us. They've got Man United bearing down on them. They've got Chelsea bearing down on them. Chelsea, after their bad spell, look like they're kind of returning back to winning ways. We're hitting a bit of form now. We all know United have been on form. And the one team where the form's dropping off is them. They've got to go to Southampton next week. You know, it's not a given. And if the two places can open up, we got a chance. If we can get through that Man United game, we have more than a decent run in. Listen, there's still difficult games in there. I know a lot of people say, all the big boys are gone. Still got to go away to Leicester. Wolves. Still got to go away to Wolves. Still got to go away to Burnley last game of the season. Everton away. We saw how difficult it was for Liverpool there yesterday. They're going to be difficult games, but they're all games that are winnable. They're not Man City's and Liverpool's away where we've had a horrific record in the past. So great chance if we can hit a good and there's players in this team like Mkhitaryan that are stepping up. Ramsey, he was vindicated in playing Ramsey.
He was.
And why are we letting this guy go?
I think the Man United game this weekend is pivotal though. We can't afford to lose to Man United. I did say...
Would a draw be a decent result?
A win would be fantastic, but a draw is the very least.
Yeah.
Because you can't afford to not only give up, if you were to lose to them, you don't get any points, they get 3. So we don't want them to get further away from us, do we? And also then the pack gets, if they win as well, they go away from us. It's all about making sure your opponents don't get points as well as winning your games here. And that Man United, I think both teams, I think a draw might suit both teams in a way. Certainly will suit Man United. They will play on the counter attack like they did, and we've got to make that mistake. We don't play the high line. I think we've got to watch.
Similar tactics, you think, as this?
I think so. I think he's making us really competitive in the bigger games now. Forget about the Man City games because they're a long way ahead of us. Liverpool, we got smashed away, but we put in a good performance at home. But if you check the 3 games against Chelsea, 2 games against Chelsea, the 2 games against Tottenham and 1 against Man United, we played 5 against those 3 big teams. And he's won 2, drew 2, lost 1. So and he's sort of making us really competitive. All I ask when I watch Arsenal, really, when we play these under Wenger, we became less competitive against the big teams. We were too open out of possession. He's making us more competitive, Robbie, in these bigger games and out of possession. And he's got, as I said at the start, he chose a system over personnel. We have to respect that. And he was vindicated in the way he set up with the result. And on another day, he would have won. It was the perfect away performance without the win that it deserved. But against Man United, I look at that game and I think Pogba, he might want to nullify Pogba. I watched PSG. I know Man United are at home and PSG were away, but they sat Marquinhos on him and he got so frustrated he ended up losing his rag and getting sent off, didn't he, in the game? So I don't think we can give Pogba space. Also, when they played us, they hit the wide areas, didn't they, with Sanchez and Lukaku. Sanchez is out now, injured.
But Lukaku will be back in there. Probably Rashford will be back.
Yeah, they have got injuries though, Man United, haven't they? But we need. I think you go with this is a very solid looking side. I think it's the formation he likes, 4-2-3-1. And I think he'd go with it again. I think Aubameyang might be on the bench again because Aubameyang will be playing in France.
So.
And I think Lacazette, who won't be playing, to be fresh. He could play.
Could play Ramsey again. I get the feeling he might play Ozil over in France.
He could do.
And play Ramsey in that game on Saturday.
Well, he might play Ramsey. Well, it might be the reverse. He likes to play an Ozil at home, doesn't he? And Ramsey away.
And do you know what? I would like to see Mustafi, even though he made that mistake.
Yeah,
in these type of games, stay at right back. I think he's more assured defensively than Ainsley, Maitland-Niles.
Yeah.
And I think keep Mustafi, keep that back four.
Yeah.
Keep that back four in, Monreal was brilliant. We know Kolasinac's going forward, but in a game like this against Man United, we're going to have to be solid defensively. Maybe Monreal might be a better bet.
Yeah, I think so. And I think also with Mustafi, he doesn't offer us that much going forward. So maybe with him staying back, Monreal could be the fullback that pushes on.
Yep.
And maybe Xhaka could come across and cover that space. But
even if he doesn't push forward, Mkhitaryan's so dynamic.
Yes.
But
you've got to remember, with Mkhitaryan, if we're asking him to play, he played so well on Saturday. We're asking him to play Thursday and asking him to play again.
Could be that he leaves out Mkhitaryan on Thursday, brings in maybe Denis Suarez.
Yeah,
could see a first start for him. But it's looking positive. It's good that you come here and we're talking about another excellent tactical performance by Unai Emery. And it's looking positive going forward. We've got a good chance of getting into that top four in the league. And I'd like to know what you guys think of it. What did you think of the tactics? Leave it in the comments below. You know that Graham checks them out. Let us know if you think Graham is spot on with this, or if he's chatting rubbish. You can tell us.
I mean, the other thing is, do people think we should ditch the high line at the moment? I don't think we've got the defenders. We haven't got quick defenders at the moment to play the high line.
Well, let me ask you. When we're playing, let me give you in two scenarios. So when we're playing Man United this week,
don't want the high line.
No high line.
No.
When we then go on to play, I don't know, Newcastle at home, high line.
For me, I think we should ditch the high line until we get the
ditch it.
Yeah, when he gets his players in, quick players who basically suit that formation, play the high line. But he hasn't got those players at the moment.
No, when you've got Bellerin back, you can play the high line.
Yeah, but I don't think at the moment we've got the players to play the high line. There is an advantage of playing the high line if you're really organised, but it has to be set up perfect. It's like a closed unit where you move in lines like that. But we've seen our defenders moving forward. One centre back will break the line, and then one will push up. We'll lose a second ball, and one will push up, and then someone will play the ball behind, and someone's in behind. So I don't think, and we haven't got the pace to recover. So they push up, and they haven't got the push up to engage a lot of the time, and there's a lack of pace to recover. So I don't think we got the defenders to play the high line. But if we are going to play it, at least play it against the likes of your Huddersfields, your Brightons. Where you could possibly afford to get it. Against better teams with better forwards, they're going to punish you every time. So and I think against Man United, I think he'll go with the 4-2-3-1. So I apologise first of all before someone picks me out in the comments. That's 4-2-3-1, not 4-3-2-1. So I think he'll stick with that 4-2-3-1 with an out of possession Lacazette and Aubameyang, Ramsey and Lacazette on Saturday worked as a two. Maybe up front, he could switch to the diamond against Man United if he wants to play that formation, a 4-4-2. That's a way of getting Ozil and Ramsey both into the formation if he wants to go with the two forwards. Or he could play Ozil up off a forward with Ramsey as a running midfielder. He's got those options, hasn't he? But I think he likes the 4-2-3-1. I think that's his ideal formation, and with Mkhitaryan, the key to it, I think, offering balance on the right hand side. Robbie, he's come back from injury and come back into form. Iwobi's doing that on the left hand side, and I think he likes the balance of Mkhitaryan and Iwobi. It does mean that obviously Lacazette and Aubameyang have to be rotated, Lacazette more for the away games, the way he holds the ball up and gets players running on beyond him, and then Aubameyang can come on when the game's stretched, where he can. He likes the thing. Getting the thing out of Aubameyang is a ball in behind where he can run onto it.
He's brilliant.
I think the other thing with Mkhitaryan moving forward is I think he could eventually move into because we've got to replace Ramsey, haven't we? I think Mickey can play two roles. I think, and this is worth thinking about. What people think about, they can let me know in the comments. I think Mickey can play out wide right. Now, for his country, he's been playing at number 10. I don't think he's as good as Ozil at number 10, but I think he can play as a third man running midfielder. He can drive from midfield in a 3. So I think he could move more centrally as his career goes on at Arsenal.
Okay, well, brilliant. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, and we will be back next week after that Manchester United game to break that down, give you another tactical insight. But thanks very much, Graham, and we'll see you next week.